There, I'm Mrs. Ehlke, and today I wanted to draw with you an animal. This was one of the animals that was requested on my Facebook page, Lori Ehlke's Art, and so I wanted to see what kind of animal drawing I could do. The animal of the day is an owl. So this is just obviously the owl's head. I thought this would be a cool picture to create. It's a little bit more detailed, as you can see. So it's a fun one to try if you want something a little bit fancier. And if you want to color it, be my guest. Obviously, I only colored the eyes because I wanted them to be piercing eyes. So if you want to do an owl, try out this video and see what you think. I thought this one turned out pretty cool. All right. Thanks so much for watching these videos and have fun with your drawing. To make the face of the owl, I'm going to start with 2 circles for the eyes. I'm going to do one right there and one right there. And I'm going to go ahead and color them in. Okay, then I'm going to make a line that goes around them. It's kind of angled down like that, and then around the bottom like that. For the eyes, I'm going to add a kind of fluffy or furry texture that goes down to connect the eyes, like that. Feathery texture there. And then I'm going to make a line that goes across in between the eyes, and then it's going to go down like that. This is the beak of the owl. Connects at the bottom. And this I'm going to also color in, except for maybe just a little slit in the middle. Okay, it's kind of the main thing. Now I'm going to thicken up the line around my eyes just a little bit, because I want it to be nice and strong. And now I'm going to add some of the other details. So I'm going to continue this furry textured line, and it's going to go up a little bit higher than the eyes, kind of like that. And I'm going to go ahead and connect or make another one that's a little bit above it. Adding this little fur texture just with little strokes of the marker. And then I'm going to add a line that kind of goes across in between the 2 lines here. Next I'm going to do, I know they're not ears, it's just feathers, but they look like ears. And we have an owl center that is close to where we live, and at the owl center they said they're not quite sure what these things are for. I know when looking at an owl you can kind of tell how they are feeling based on the movement of these things. But I don't think they're quite sure exactly what they're used for, besides maybe showing how they feel, their emotions. And my terminology is not great. I don't remember what they're called, but we're going to go ahead and add those in. I'm also going to put these little marks kind of going across in between here, just to show that there's a bunch of feathers kind of in between the eyes. Okay. Next I'm going to make a dashed line that's right outside of the eye. I'm going to just do a little bit right here on either side. It's going to stop at the corner, and then I'm going to do another one on the inside that kind of goes and stop, so that there's a little bit of empty space in between the 2. Next I'm going to go down to the bottom of my beak and I'm going to make kind of a dashed line that kind of curves on either side of the beak, curves up like that. And I'm going to connect up here to that line with another dashed line that kind of goes out and then in. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It goes out and then in. I'm trying to be symmetrical as I can, meaning both sides are hopefully close to the same. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, starting a little bit higher up. And I'm going to make these kind of feathery like brush strokes. And this time it's going to go all the way down. So it's going to go down the side of the body here. So these feathery like marker strokes here that go all the way down. And they've got kind of some thicker, darker feathers that come down here. So I'm just going to kind of indicate those down here too. Okay, definitely starting to look more like an owl. Trying to make sure that both my sides look pretty much the same. And I'm going to continue these dark feathers coming down like this. It's a very intense look. He looks like he's a serious kind of guy here. I'm going to add some lines that kind of come down in here just to show more feathers. I'm just trying to really play around with my marker. I'm not doing anything too fancy with my lines. Just adding a bunch of little marks to make it look feathery. Okay, I have a little bit more detail here in the face that I'd like to do, kind of to indicate or to give more emphasis to the beak. I'm going to start right next to the beak. There's kind of this dark area, so I'm going to just add some lines that go like that. And then they kind of curve up to the side. And then the same thing on this side. There's some darker area right next to the beak that I'm going to add in. There's a couple darker lines up here too that I'm going to put in. And then a lot of this is real light, so I'm going to throw in just a couple of marks to give it a little bit of interest, but I don't want to make it too dark because this area right here is pretty light. The area around it's pretty dark, so I do want to maybe darken that up a little bit more with the marker. I'm going to go back in here and kind of add a little bit more drama to this area so that this looks lighter in here. Get my intense owl look here. And then get all this nice and filled in. All right, so my owl is pretty good where it's at. I could now go ahead and color if I wanted to color it, or if I wanted maybe to shade it with a couple of things, I could shade it. But just as a black and white drawing, it stands on its own pretty well too. You can definitely see that intense gaze of the owl. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope your owl looks super cool and intense like mine. It might be fun too. Maybe I'll just do this. The eyes, of course, are the focal point. So, I mean, you could even just take like one color like this bright yellow and leave everything black and white except for the eyes. Make those kind of this bright yellow color, more intense. If you wanted to get a little fancier there, I might even add a little bit of shading on the eyes too with some orange. Throw a little bit of shading in there too. This guy is wide awake and watching you. I think owls are such cool animals. I love learning about them and I love seeing them and drawing them, of course, too. I like making the cutesy ones as well. All right, look at how much those eyes just made that pop. So super cool. And I hope you enjoyed making an owl and yours looks nice and intense too. I love seeing your pictures, so if you'd like to share with me the picture of your owl, please share so that I can see how yours turned out as well. All right? Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again.